Gang violence has been around our community actually for many more years than people recognize.
And in these neighborhoods, we got posses for every different street. You might have one street fighting the next street.
Gang violence is a negative effect on our youth in our community as well as those that are part of our community.
Murders and the destruction of neighborhood and the disrespect of seniors and children is at an all-time high. Malcolm X was the leader of a huge gang. The church is a huge gang that gets together to promote their beliefs and to take care of their constituents or members. Politics is about huge gangs, Democrats, Republicans, independents. Let's not get it twisted. There's been gangs, there's going to be gangs until we die. But what has to happen is that the gang's purpose should not destroy, but it should pull together. So to be honest with you, I'm a proponent of gangs. But I'm a proponent of gangs that do positive work, like the gangs of the fathers, the gangs of Mad Dads, the gangs of Stop the Violence. And so the gangs that are together that are causing a negative impact on our community is where I think we have to be concerned. And I think that if we're ever going to turn around the negative gangs that are out there, that it has to happen what I call the 3 E's, but it's this, the 3 E's: education, employment, and enforcement.
This is a lot of our homeowners and even our kids feel that no one cares because gangs have taken over the street corners.
So it really did an impact on the community because it took a lot of lives. A lot of people have been dying, and a lot of people have been put in jail, and it's impacted families, hundreds and hundreds of families. So it's really had a devastation. 2 of my nephews got killed last year within 40 days apart, and I lost a brother in 1998 to homicide, 47 years old, Robert Jackson. One was killed in front of a bar on William Street, in front of Denny's, with over 150 witnesses standing out there because it was a birthday party, which was very solvable, and it's not been solved. But my family is suffering also for justice to be served, and we deserve justice like anybody else. It's just not the people in the community the problems that commit the crime. It's also the people in the community that's supposed to solve the crime. We try to stop the violence or either put a dent into it is to give them alternatives. And that's always been my goal, was to alternative the violence, not stopping the violence, because you're not going to be able to stop it, because there's always going to be violence. I mean, it was violence in the biblical days with Cain and Abel, brothers. So it's always going to be violence. So we have to counter the violence and slow it down by providing alternatives.
Right now, I have a lot of different programs that we entail with to stop and not promote gang violence. We run a youth organization called Kappa Phi Youth Organization, where we teach young men how to make positive decisions, how to achieve, how to stand out far above the rest, and just how to be different.
Try to stay positive, stay in school, college student.
We're talking about educating our children, but as well as educating our adults, so that school systems turn into a place of education for adults and children. Because if I'm a parent and I got to maneuver a system that you haven't educated me enough in how to maneuver that system, I then bring my child, drop them off, and don't realize that in 9 years they're going to have to learn how to do things on a region that I never learned how to do. I'm not educated, and nor do I have employment. I do desperate things. And the reason I never look down on what somebody is doing is because of this. I don't know what tomorrow holds in my own life. And it comes to putting food on my table and making sure my daughter has shoes on her feet. I have no idea what I would do. Because obviously there are some parts of our community that they're just not going to get the education and not going to do the employment thing, but we can't allow them to destroy community. But if you concentrate more on the education and employment, then it'll be less need for the enforcement.